You've seen this before, right? If you've ever looked at a stock or a crypto chart, you've seen this stream of red and green bars just pulsing away. We think of them as cold, hard data. But what if I told you they're actually telling a story, a really old story, about fear and greed and hope that started over 300 years ago?
See, those little bars, they're called candlesticks. And they aren't just random price flips. They're a language, a visual diary of human emotion. And today, we're going to learn how to read it.
You know, it's so easy to look at this and see just mechanical signals, right? Mathematical patterns that some algorithm can figure out. But where they came from had nothing to do with computers and everything to do with people. This isn't just about numbers, it's about us.
To really understand this secret language, we have to go back, way back. Not to Wall Street in the 1980s, but to the wild rice markets of 18th century Japan. And we've got to meet the guy who first cracked the code.
Okay, let's get into it. Our hero is a man named Munehisa Honma. And honestly, he's basically a mythic figure in the trading world. He wasn't just a merchant, he was more like a market psychologist. He just got that crowds are driven by these huge, powerful, and kind of predictable emotions.
And his track record? It was absolutely legendary. We're talking 100 winning trades in a row. He got so successful he was made an honorary samurai and even became an advisor to the government. They actually nicknamed him the Long-Nosed Goblin because what he could do just felt like some kind of dark magic.
But here's the thing, it wasn't magic at all. It was this one simple, revolutionary idea. Honma figured out that the price of rice wasn't just about how much rice there was. It was about the feelings, the collective emotional state of all the other traders. That was his secret weapon.
So where does a guy like this test out such a radical theory? Well, he just happened to be in the perfect laboratory, the world's first ever organized futures market. And it wasn't for gold or oil. It was for rice. It was called the Dojima Rice Exchange. Now here's the genius part. Instead of lugging around heavy bags of rice, merchants traded these little paper slips called rice coupons. They were basically just promises for rice that would be delivered later. And that one simple change, it changed everything. It turned a basic food staple into a lightning-fast financial asset.
And here's the key difference, right? Trading actual physical rice, super slow, super clunky. But trading these paper promises, it was fast, it was liquid, and it was perfect for speculation. And this is so important. For the very first time, you had a market that was driven purely by what people thought would happen next. It was the perfect place for patterns to start showing up.
But wait, there's more. Honma had another trick up his sleeve, and this part is it's truly brilliant. He knew that in the trading game, information is power. So he built his own private, high-speed internet.
I mean, picture this. He sets up this massive 600-kilometer relay network of guys on rooftops using flags and smoke signals to flash price information from his hometown all the way to the big exchange in Osaka. This meant he got the latest market data hours, sometimes even days, before his competition. It was literally the 18th century version of high-frequency trading.
Okay, so let's put the pieces together. You've got this supercharged speculative market, and you've got this insane information advantage. What do you need next? You need a way to see what's happening, a way to visualize the emotional battle that was playing out every single day. And this is where he perfected the candlestick chart.
He didn't just see numbers. He saw the market as this philosophical dance between two forces. You had yang, the bullish, optimistic energy driving prices up, and you had yin, the bearish, pessimistic energy dragging them down. But his huge insight was that each force always contains the seed of the other. So a market that's just screaming with optimism, it's already planting the seeds for its own downfall. And a market trapped in total pessimism, that's where the next big rise is born.
And this right here, this sums up his entire contrarian philosophy. When everyone is panicking, when everyone is selling, that is the moment of maximum opportunity. Because when fear is at its absolute peak, there's nobody left to sell. The only way to go is up. This is basically the foundation of modern behavioral finance, right here in the 1700s.
So how does all of that big picture philosophy get packed into one of these little candles? Well, each candle tells the story of a single day, or a single hour. The open is where the day's conviction starts. The high is the absolute peak of optimism in that session. The low, well, that's the bottom, the peak of pessimism. And the close, that's the final verdict. It tells you who won the battle for that day.
So you see, the shape is the story. A long tail or a wick sticking out the top,
That means buyers tried to push the price way up, but the sellers just slammed it right back down. A total rejection of optimism. A big, solid green body? That means the buyers were in control from start to finish. And a teeny tiny little body called a doji? That's pure indecision. The market is just holding its breath. It's an entire psychological drama packed into one little symbol.
Now, what's crazy is that for centuries, this incredibly powerful method was basically a state secret, known only to a handful of Japanese traders. So how on earth did it get from feudal Japan onto the screen of every trader on the planet today?
Well, Homa actually published his ideas way back in 1755, but the knowledge just stayed in Japan. It was a secret for over 200 years. Then, in 1989, this analyst named Steve Nissen discovered it, brought it to the West, and from there, it just exploded. It became an absolutely fundamental tool on trading floors everywhere.
I mean, just stop for a second and think about how much has changed since Hanma's day. His smoke signals are now our fiber optic cables. His little rice coupons are now digital assets and crypto. And his human messengers? They've been replaced by AI trading bots that can execute trades in nanoseconds. The technology is completely unrecognizable. And yet, after all of that incredible, mind-bending technological change, one thing hasn't changed, not one bit. And that's the engine driving the whole machine. The forces of fear, greed, hope, and panic that make us humans do what we do when we're under pressure. That part is timeless.
So, the next time you pull up a market chart, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you just looking at a squiggly line that represents price? Or are you actually seeing a 300-year-old story about human nature? A visual record of that timeless battle between fear and greed? Are you looking at people?